Do these men look happy to you? They should look happy. They've just been handed the keys to the British Columbia economy. Back in 2007, this Chinese-owned Canadian mining company includes the proposition of using imported labor from China in their application to the federal government. In March of 2011, BC Jobs Minister Pat Bell tells the media each Chinese-owned underground mine would create 300 to 400 jobs or more, plus another 5,000 to 6,000 spin-off jobs. There is no mention of using Chinese guest workers. In November 2011, BC Premier Christy Clark announces during a trade mission that a $1.4 billion investment from China in BC mine development will create over 6,700 jobs and other economic benefits under the BC Jobs Plan. Still no mention of the use of temporary foreign workers. In 2012, Prime Minister Harper changes the temporary foreign worker program, allowing companies to pay temporary foreign workers up to 15% less than prevailing Canadian wages. From 2011 to 2012, Canadian Dewa advertises jobs in Canada for their operations, but part of the job requirements include Mandarin as a second language. Wages advertised reflect Harper's 15% less strategy. Dewa then claims it cannot attract Canadian workers. In October 2012, it comes to light in the media that Dewa will initially bring in 200 miners from China to their Murray River operation near Tumbler Ridge, BC. The BC Jobs Minister Pat Bell defends the move, citing Canadians' lack of skill in coal mining as the reason Dewa cannot find local workers. Under pressure from mining unions, Minister Bell did backtrack and suggest that Chinese miners could be used to train Canadians to mine underground for coal. What Minister Bell didn't do was consult the U.S. Mine Rescue Association, which reports over 50,000 coal miner deaths in China from 2001 to 2011. Dehua's chief executive frontman, John Kavanagh, claims they are working closely with the BC government to teach Chinese workers roughly 100 English words related to safety. No mention of translating the BC Mines Act into Mandarin or instructing Chinese workers on our standards of health and safety. In October 2012, a Taiyee investigation reveals employment agencies in China are legally charging 12,500 Canadian for the privilege of coming to work in Canadian mines. They also advertise hourly wages far below Harper's 15% less for temporary foreign workers wage scam. Then in October 2012, Prime Minister Stephen Harper introduces the Canada-China Investment Treaty. If signed into law as planned November 2, 2012, it would allow Chinese investors to sue the Canadian taxpayers if we attempt to interfere with their projects and potential profits. In October, the United Steelworkers and the BC Federation of Labor demand an investigation into the hiring practices of Chinese companies. The only question is, should the people responsible for bringing temporary foreign workers into BC be investigating the scandal? While we should not refuse to extract our resources or fail to trade with other nations, we should do so on terms that are favorable to Canadians and the rest of the world. We should stop and think before allowing foreign corporations, backed by an undemocratic state, to take control over our natural resources. And we certainly shouldn't let them break the law or give them an unfair trade advantage by importing low-paid workers. Make no mistake, Canadian workers will ultimately be forced to work for less as they compete against cheap foreign labor in their own country. Worse yet, when Canadians get upset at the inevitable economic conditions and attempt to use their democratic voice to stop the destruction of their economy caused by these policies, they will be trumped by Chinese companies exerting the corporate rights that Harper's Canada-China Investment Treaty gave them.